Guys, so I'm gonna tell you about the party that I went to, which was yesterday, well, Saturday. What happened was um, I couldn't find my dog's harness, so I couldn't take her. I couldn't take her on the bicycle, and I've already gone 2 days to the park without taking my dog to the park. And so I put the regular leash on her neck, but then she's accustomed to pulling me. So I said, well, son, I spoke to my son. We could go all the way to the park, but she's going to pull me all the way, and it's annoying. Why don't we just go to this neighbor's house, and all the kids are out there. I could hear them. And my son had a great time. He even ran and ran, playing tag. We took the kitten, the white snowball, and we had a great time. All the kids were there. We took my dog. Some of them played with the dog, but I mean, I was holding the dog all the time. They were just petting the dog. And with the kitten, yeah, they did carry the kitten. Um, I said that I crashed the party because I was not invited. What happens? The spouse I have doesn't get along with one of the guests that goes to that party, so that's why we're not invited because we never go. Well, I don't go because why don't I go? Nobody smokes there. Hmm. Well, what I've noticed is that it's all women. It's all women. Yesterday there was one man there, and then when a little while after I got there with my son, he did come out and he sat with me and so on. Yeah, it's weird when it's an all women party. So what happened next was um, when that man and his woman left, that's when I left also. I was offered cake, I was offered the soda. That was wonderful. I had a great time. Um, the negatives about the party is that all the adults are inside the house and all the children are outside the house. And the oldest, maybe 12 years old, the youngest, maybe 2 years old. Gosh, yeah, 2 years old. And so, like, the biggest problem is there's nobody watching them outside. All the children are running and playing and so on. Um, that's a negative from a child care supervision perspective. Um, but that's the reason I don't go to the park sometimes. I mean, I go, but I avoid the playground because I see some children playing on the outside of the playground, and then I'm like, oh no, I'm the only adult here that cares. Um, I stop them. I even strangers, kids, I stop them sometimes. There was one that was spitting, and I said, "Don't spit from up there." It was the monkey bars, and he says, "Oh, it's okay. That's just my brother down there." I'm like, "No." So I avoid it. I avoid these situations. I'm not the only one, by the way. There was this priest when I was a kid. I was an altar boy, by the way, and he used to say that he avoided going to his family reunions and family birthdays and marriages because as a priest he was upset that his niece was getting married for the second time, or she already had 3 kids with some other guy and now she was marrying this guy. I don't know, stories like that. And then he said, as the priest, they want me to marry them, and so I don't go to these reunions. Uh, for me, I don't go because they start smoking. I mean, I don't have any family reunions. I think those things cost money. All right. So, what tip do I have for you? Um, have a beautiful life. Live alone. Live alone so you don't get Baker acted, and live alone so that you can have all the way you want to live. I remember my grandpa. One time, his second wife, he married her only for immigration purposes, I think. He was already, what, 65 or something. And she was younger and nice, and she was a grandma too. But one time she changed his furniture. He had an indoor hammock, and then he didn't like that at all. Uh, so she stopped coming to his apartment. What happens is that apparently, if you are old or something and you live in these old people's buildings, government buildings, I don't know if you're allowed to have overnight guests or things like that for more. And when they come over, old people, they don't stay for like 1 hour, or if they're gonna come visit you, they're gonna stay for at least 2 3 days or maybe longer. And so, like, apparently that's not allowed. I don't know if they charge you money for it or not. Uh, so what happens is he had to marry her so that they wouldn't give him any, they wouldn't bother him. And then she moved out. She moved out. She never moved in, actually. She only had a suitcase, but she went back. What happens is when you're old, you want to be near your grandchildren, and you don't want to be around people that don't let you do things. And my grandpa, he was already set. He had his own TV show and his own activities at night, or radio all night, basically. Radio onda corta, which is shortwave radio. So they couldn't get along. I mean, it's all right to visit, but it just didn't work out. Oh well, talk to you later. Be better than I am.